Yo, it's your boy Deucespeaks,
It's your boy Jason Alexander.
and we are the Clearly Confused podcast where we are unscripted, unfiltered, and probably off topic.
Yes,
What
sir.
is going on, my man Jason? How you feeling today, man?
Ain't nothing at all, man. How you living, man? You feeling all right after your Celtics let you down last night?
You know what's funny? I was actually talking to one of my cousins about this. Not this last game. I wanted us to lose a game before. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
man. It's
yeah.
just like a weightlifter. It's like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not winning this series. So it's like, why keep playing around?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't like to avoid the inevitable. So
Yeah.
it
You
is
know,
what
I
it
went through that.
is.
I went through that in the first round. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
when Minnesota got up 3-1, I was like, yeah, let's just go on, put it to bed, move on to next year. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just not in the cards.
Yes. Hey, it is what it is. We had a good run. Hey, we didn't come prepared at the gate. Obviously injuries ended up hurting. After that point, but we was already getting smacked before that point, so you can't really
Yeah.
even use that. And everybody's
Yeah.
beat up come playoff time.
Yeah. You're right.
Um, the winner's always who's the healthiest going into the finals.
Yeah.
For real.
That always plays a part too. I think people overlook that when they start talking about how good some of these teams are. It takes a lot of luck. It
Oh
takes
my
a lot of
god,
luck to get there, man. You know?
it really does, man. Like I'm trying to think about it. Think about the Nuggets. I was thinking about this the other day too. Cause they going game 7 again. Like they
Yeah.
gonna play a lot of fucking games if they make it to the finals.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
So
true. Game 7, they went 7 against the Clippers.
yeah,
Yeah, 7 against OKC. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
yeah, that's
And
a wear
Aaron
down.
Gordon's hurt. He strained his hamstring, so he might
Yeah,
not even play tomorrow. So yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a
and
lot,
OKC's
man.
sitting there nice and healthy right now. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
There's
shit
always
people
some
got to
luck
think
involved,
about.
that's for sure.
That's the thing that comes with them the series. I know people love series because it's like it ain't about like just having a good day. You know what I'm saying? You got to really beat this team multiple times to show you actually the
Mhm.
better team. Versus
Right.
like football, hey, any given
Yeah.
Sunday, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
y'all beat me today, don't mean y'all was the better team. Y'all just had a good day and we didn't. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah. That's the joy of football,
it
That's
is
the joy of
the
football.
joy and pain though, because
Yeah,
on
it's
the
definitely
opposite
pain.
side, you like, man, any other time if we wouldn't have had this injury or this
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened, we'd have beat the shit out of y'all. But
Yeah, you
shoulda,
already
coulda,
know.
woulda,
Yeah.
shoulda, coulda, woulda. Um,
Yeah.
but see, let's get into these mentals, man. How we feeling, man? Where we checking in this week?
I'm gonna say this week I'm at a probably I don't know, this week was up and down, man. I'm gonna say about 7.5 this week. I'm gonna roll with about
Okay.
a 7.5. We had some so at work we were supposed to have some good things take place on
Mm-hmm.
Thursday and it got postponed.
Mm.
And as a result, we're kind of in a limbo at work. So we're going back to that whole there may be layoffs, there might be layoffs.
Oh God,
Morale just
unease.
yeah, morale jumped off the cliff at work the other day, but you know, it's part of it. It's part of what we go through. We
Yeah.
kind of touched on it a little bit last week when we spoke on how the corporate world is, man. And you know, I hate to see my place of work getting back into a limbo. I do hate that.
Mm-hmm.
So you take that away from this week. Despite all the other stuff that's gone on, I probably would have had a much better week. But towards the end of the week, man, that kind of put a damper on things. But where are you sitting at, man? How you living this week? What's your mentals at this week?
It's funny you say that because it's almost the same path as you, where the beginning of the week took off nice. So I'm first. I'll say I'm gonna put myself like 6.8.
Okay.
I had a strong start to the week, man. Chill Monday. Got to see the Canes playoff, second
Right.
round playoff.
Right.
Uh, Crazy atmosphere. I got to go with a fraternity brother. It was his first game. Like it was just a dope night, man. Great experience. Just a great game too, man. So it started good. Took Tuesday off, chilled.
Right. Okay.
Actually, I ride with my boss rides with me like twice a year. So he rode with me Wednesday. You know, good feedback. Man, after that, man, it just kind of went downhill, man. Just family life, things with that. You know, shit comes up. Pops end up getting hurt.
Mm.
Unexpectedly had to have a hip surgery last minute.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it was dealing with that, and then transmission goes out on the car that I use for work.
Ah.
So I'm like, man, I'm getting beat up right now,
Yeah,
man.
man, I hear you, man. Your
So yeah, it
pop's
was
doing
a
all right though.
yeah. He's doing good. He's very similar to me. Stubborn, don't want to sit down and shit. So it's kicking his ass, man. Just not being able to do shit. We people that like to be on the move and go. We don't like to just sit there all day.
Right, I hear you.
So he's yeah, he I know he's mentally struggling. He don't want to say it, but I know he's mentally struggling. Just sitting there all day.
Right, right. What's his
But
recovery time looking like?
uh so it should be probably about a month or two, honestly. But it just all depends on how things heal up. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
hear you. All right.
All
Hopefully, he don't
depends.
hold him down too bad. And hopefully, he can start getting around and
Oh yeah.
moving like he wants to.
Yeah, because he's supposed to actually come down Memorial Day weekend, him and my stepmom and shit. And
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to be mobile to be able to do so. So I'm kind of playing it by ear. You know, whatever's best, man. I just want my guy to be healthy and good. But
Right.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I
just
feel that.
week didn't end well, man. It's just, you try to stay positive. You try to shield that negativity and stuff and not have it roll off onto your family.
Yeah.
Things like I can already sense myself getting short, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
irritated
yeah.
easier. So it's like I know it ain't got nothing to do with them, man. So it's always in these moments, man, I try to focus and be like, look, Deuce, just keep that shit in, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Deal with it, face it. You can't ignore it. You gotta handle it. But I believe there's a solution to every problem, so why worry about it? It'll take
Right.
care of
Yeah, yeah.
itself.
I got the same sort
Hmm.
of mentality, man. I try not to fret over stuff I can't control
Yeah.
and just try to roll with the punches and keep it moving best I can. And like you said, man, try to make sure I ain't taking it out on the family and whatnot. So
Hmm.
I definitely understand what you're saying and what you're going through.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully the weekend clears it up and gets things better for you. Gets things moving in the right direction for you anyway.
Oh yeah, I will say today, man, it's a beautiful Saturday out here in Virginia. We had a
Yeah.
crazy ass storm last night, man. It was
Yeah,
like
we had that too, man. Man, we had a tornado in Somerset
that's
and
what I heard.
London, man. They said nine
Damn,
fatalities. I was like, man,
shit. Yeah, we
I
didn't.
knew it
We
was bad. I didn't know it was that bad though.
yeah, I heard like Midwest got slapped pretty good. We got to like 3 in the morning, man. Woke everybody up, man. It was winds, hail. It was going crazy.
Man.
That's why like all the sports games and stuff got canceled. But now it's like 80 degrees, sunny as hell,
Yeah.
beautiful ass day out today. So
Yeah.
I'll be
Storm done
spending
passed
most of the
through
rest of
now.
the day, yeah, for sure, for sure. But
Yeah, storm passed through and now it's beautiful. Hey.
oh yeah, beautiful days. But let's talk about some not so beautiful days in this Diddy trial that's been going on. And it depends, man. It depends on how you look at it. I've been seeing some sides like it's kind of look like it's going Diddy's way. Some are like nah, they just building up the prosecution's kind of building, trying to build it
Hmm.
up and get to where they need to go. But
Yeah.
uh, how's it looking to you so far, man? What you seeing? What you thinking?
Well, man, I have a wide range of thoughts when it comes to this whole trial and whatnot. Between this
Hmm.
trial and social media, I don't know, man. It's a lot going on. It's a whole lot
Hmm.
going on. I would right off the bat, I feel like this is going to be the trial is going to be a month to 2 months.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, they put Cassie on the stand first because she's pregnant and she could have the baby at any time, and they wanted to go on and get her testimony out the way
Oh, absolutely.
without without her, going into labor and not being able to
Hmm.
participate in the trial. So we heard a whole lot of stuff
Yeah.
with her testimony,
Yep.
and I think one of the things that for me, I guess I guess bothers me more than anything else is watching a lot of the reactions to the trial and what people have had to say.
Hmm.
Because it's like I said, we're in the beginning stages of this trial.
Oh yeah, it's still early.
Yeah. And I think it's important for people to understand that he's on trial for sex trafficking, uh, prostitution. I think there's like I know there's more than three charges, but there's three main principles
Oh
with
yeah.
the charges that are brought against him. And the burden of proof is going to be on the prosecutors. And I think it's
Oh
way
yeah.
too early. It's way too early to tell if it's
It
swaying
is.
one way or the other
Yeah.
because we haven't began to see any of the evidence at all.
I think people where
About
they
the
see
real.
Cassie out first, they're thinking, okay, they bring the big guns out, and like we don't know what other people they have.
Yeah,
Just because Cassie's a big name and people are assuming like, okay, they brought the biggest gun they got out. Most people don't start battle with their biggest guns. You know what I'm saying? They gonna
No, not
pull
right
that
off the
card
bat.
out the gate. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? Especially not in a big trial like this. So it is one of those, let's calm down. But we live in that world. We get that information. We got to digest it and talk about it
Yeah,
right then and
man,
there.
and everybody's talking about it, including us. I mean, we're on
Oh
here
yeah,
talking about it right now.
absolutely,
So, but I
absolutely.
think it's one of those things that you can't help but talk about, especially for somebody at
Mm-hmm.
my age who's known of Puffy since
Now
we were
you've
talking
seen them since the beginning,
94,
yeah.
man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we watched this man for a very, very long time. And there's all kinds of rumors about this man. There's all kinds of stuff going on. We've been hearing rumors since the beginning of time about Puff, and
Oh
I
yeah.
still call him Puff. I can't even call him Diddy. Like I might bust out and know Diddy from time to time, but he's always going to
Mm-hmm.
be Puff to me.
I always
Always
see
going
him
to
as
be Puff.
Puffy too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to see him as Diddy, man. Diddy never made sense to me, but Puff,
Mm-mm.
he's just Puff. But
And it's funny
looking
that
at
generational aspect of it too, because you did
oh
get to
yeah,
see him from like the start. I got introduced to like Diddy the same time I got introduced to Bad Boys. I came up. That was like the kind of like the first hip hop I was really hearing was Big. Biggie was like my favorite rapper because that was my first rapper that I really heard. And I was like, oh shit, I like
yeah,
this. You know
oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
that's
But he
that's
was
kind of how I
special,
got
man.
my taste into the Diddy.
Yeah,
So I didn't get to see the whole lead up or anything to it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting though.
Yeah, Puffy will always get credit for taking the golden era of rap into the shiny suit era.
Oh
Because
yeah.
to me, the golden era of rap was probably 92 to 95, 92 to 96, somewhere around that time frame. In
Hmm.
97, he changed everything. He started wearing all the shiny suits in the videos, and he really took hip hop and made it more mainstream than it had ever
He
been
really
before.
took hip hop and took it this far.
Yeah, and so there's some people who appreciated that. There's some people who couldn't stand that. Hip hop
Hmm.
was largely underground
Oh
for the
yeah.
most part. A lot of the hardcore artists, a lot of the artists we're hearing now. Like it blows my mind. And I know it's off topic, but it blows my mind to hear Wu Tang, like hardcore Wu Tang songs in Amazon commercials. And
Yeah.
I'm like man, if
Hmm.
you, I know this song by heart, but
Hmm.
I love seeing it in the Amazon commercial. It's like, man, that's Ghostface. That's dope shit
Yeah.
right there. But it's
And
like you couldn't have
yeah,
told me in the '90s that Ghostface will be doing mainstream commercials
commercial type, yes,
from
and
music
stuff.
that he made in the 2000s and early or in the '90s and 2000s and whatnot. So
It's crazy.
Puffy's always going to have that place in
Hmm.
history for what he did with rap music and how he elevated rap to a level that it had never been before. So
Hmm.
we got all that going on. You got that stature going on with Puffy and whatnot, and then you find out about all the stuff that he's been doing, all the
Oh yeah.
all the all the stuff that's gone on, and you just realize that regardless of how this case is going to turn out, he's a pretty despicable human being, man.
Oh
There's
yeah.
really no way around it. So when I see people on social media defending him, it's like how can you defend that man? It's like we saw what he did to her in that video.
Hmm.
We
So
saw how I'm sorry.
I'll say this, and it goes back to what you said about the charges, especially I think like the main thing is the sex trafficking
Mm-hmm.
aspect of it. So we're hearing right now, and I think it's why we get a lot of different banter going on in the case on like who's winning right now,
Yeah.
because you get Cassie on here. One, you're seeing a lot of stuff get put out that some of it was her idea. Well, I'm not gonna even say her idea, but she went along with it. She might have made some calls. To me, essentially a part of it. So I've seen some people talking about like, could she get charged in this? Is that the only reason she testifying so that she can keep her name? Because it's a RICO, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
everybody should be going down with it. So you get some people that are like, okay, we understand that Diddy, like we all seen the video.
Right.
We understand that Diddy is abusive to women. There ain't no getting out of that one.
Right.
Even his defense attorney, there's no way you can get at it. We seen that video, nigga. You can't tell me what I saw.
Right.
So to me, the defense is kind of leaning into, yeah, we know he's a despicable, domestic woman beating ass nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Um, but the difference is it's like, how is it connecting to the sex trafficking? Is where a lot of people, and even myself, I'm like, and again, we're still early, so I'm not like, oh, he's got this case won. It's
Right.
still early, so it's like, I'm trying to understand the prosecution. Like, what picture are they painting? Like, we already know he's abusive. We understand that. So my thing is, what picture are you painting that's going to lead to these charges of sex trafficking?
Well, I know that it was brought out in court when she testified that she helped organize them, help plan them, help pick the people out, and all that good stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
think the sex trafficking is going to come from whether the prosecution can prove that they were paying for these escorts and flying them
Oh
wherever
yeah.
they needed to be flew to, because
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be your sex trafficking there and your prostitution.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I was talking to a buddy of mine at work, and he was saying, "Well, that's not against the law." I'm like, "Dog, that's prostitution, man. You
A
can't
lot
offer
of people
somebody
don't
money,
understand. You can't fly somebody out with the intentions of having sex. That
right?
is sex trafficking.
And them getting money on top of it. That's it's textbook prostitution right
Oh
there."
yeah.
And I was explaining that to him, and I was saying, I was like, all they have to do is prove that right there. And he's like, "Well, how are they gonna prove that?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. We ain't got that far yet." But
Mm-hmm.
if I had to guess, they're just setting up to show that she was involved in the planning and the coordination of getting these freak offs underway and whatnot. And I guess as time goes down, they'll show how they. I'm assuming they're going to show how they played a part in making these events happen.
Oh
I
yeah.
call them events, but the freak offs, how they had to make them happen. If
And I'm
you're
with you on that.
they you they've admitted that they were escorts.
Mm-hmm.
So if we know they're escorts, we know they're getting paid to have sex. We know that they're getting flown out there for. It's a whole different ball game than flying out an IG model. When you
Mm-hmm. Oh
fly out
yeah.
the IG model, you don't know if you're gonna get sex or not.
Mm-hmm.
You probably will,
You hoping
but
you
you're
got the
not
intentions of it. That's the
right. But
expectation probably.
absolutely, but when you fly her out, you're not flying her out knowingly, to have sex. You're
Mm-hmm.
just hoping for it.
Oh
So
yeah.
to me, that's the difference in this, because they were knowingly flying them out so they could come participate in the freak offs.
Mm-hmm. Just like
So
all his major cities that he's got like a spot in or travels to, he got connections there. So it's like, hey, when
yeah,
I'm here, go ahead and have this set up. When I'm there, go ahead and have this set up. I will say though, man, just listening to it, God, it's rough, man. Cause I
yeah,
mean,
man,
you think about Cassie and her age, how young and vulnerable she was, especially having daughters.
yeah,
And you think about this older man. I mean,
yeah.
it's
She was
easy
what,
for a man.
19,
Yeah,
19 when
you
they
got
got
this
together.
music mogul. I mean, the aspects of him. You just look at it and see that he could easily take advantage. Like, you
Uh,
want your career? I'm one of the hottest
yeah.
things you got to get through. Clearly.
I mean, that power dynamic is
Oh
not.
my
You can't
God.
avoid that power dynamic.
So I've been feeling, man, damn near disgusted. And I've been seeing some back and forth on it. Man, I know everybody has different experiences and just perceive things differently, but I've been disgusted hearing the testimony and stuff from her about what she was doing. And I see a lot of people, like, even like she says she'll get raped. And then next day or something like that, she'll be back lovey dovey with him, invite him over, have sex, whatever.
Hmm.
And people are like, well, with that being said, like, how is he really doing something to her? Like, somebody, I know in our heads, like, man, if I get raped, why the hell would I go have sex with the person again? You know what I mean? But people don't
Right.
realize she's been with this man, what, they was together almost a decade since she was
Hmm.
19 years old. The amount of manipulation and shit that he's probably put in her head, like, her
Hmm.
head is fucked up, man. I
Yeah,
couldn't
man. Yeah.
imagine. So I get a little upset when I see that side, like, oh, well, she was just being a hoe, and obviously it wasn't rape if, she went back for it and kept doing it over and over. Like,
Right.
yeah, I don't understand that power dynamic, like you said.
They really
Um,
don't, man. I saw a good tweet this morning and said, somebody said, I wish I could give them full credit for it, but it's one of the ones where I was just scrolling, saw it, and kind of laughed and kept it moving. But it
hmm
said you had a threesome with a dude from Home Depot, but you over here not understanding what a billionaire could do
Yeah,
to
come on,
a
that's
billionaire
funny.
music mogul would do to a wannabe artist.
Yeah,
It's like, and I was like, this nails it to a T right here. It's like,
hmm
folks talk all that shit, but you, like I said, you down here having a threesome with dude from Home Depot. What do you think Cassie's gonna do when Diddy's holding her whole career above her head
yeah. She gotta go
to
with it. Go
to
along to get
manipulate her to
along.
do whatever he wants? I mean, she ain't got no choice.
He
And then
holds all the power.
yeah, and then she actually has feelings for the man, so that's
Yeah.
gonna complicate it even worse.
hmm
But yeah, I'm like you. I've been disgusted. So I've been disgusted with a lot of the things I've seen, mainly because, like you said, I got a daughter. My daughter's, like I said, 26, 27 years old. She's got a granddaughter. It's like I can't imagine
Man.
somebody doing this to my daughter.
hmm
There's no way. And whenever she brings the dude to the crib, I'm probably gonna ask him, "So, what's your thoughts on the Puffy case?" Just so I can see where his head's at.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my litmus test.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you
You
answer
agree with this
appropriately.
shit? All right, you need to get the hell up
Yeah,
on out of here. Yep.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you a Puffy defender, man, shit, you ain't gonna be in this family long, man. That's just the way it's gonna be.
Nah, I definitely understand that, man. Because that's yeah. There's some things like even like politics and shit. Like I said, there's certain things like I just can't get down with. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Right.
can have
Right.
an opinion, but there's certain things like that's cool. You got that opinion, but that kind of tells me a little bit, what I need to
Right.
know about you, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep you away from me. Because if you cool okay with certain things, like once I seen that, anytime I hear somebody like free Diddy. I kind of get angry with that anyway because I'm like, bro, we all watched this video of him beating the shit out of Cassie. I don't even care what the reason was for. You beat
Right.
the shit out of her, dog. Like, there's no excuse you could have given. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
He beat the shit out of her. He
Mm-hmm.
paid the security guard for the film, so nobody would ever see it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
this
come
was
out and
back
say
when
she's lying and shit, and then the video
yeah.
comes out, and then now you sorry. Miss me with that shit.
Yeah, and then he deleted the apology. How you gonna apologize and then delete it
Yeah,
after we saw what you did? The least you could have done is left the apology up.
yeah,
No,
own that shit, man.
forget the lawyer talking all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You could have left that apology up because man, she at the very least, she deserved an apology for that.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
that's when shit started rolling down hills when that video got released and whatnot. And I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's
Oh
like shit.
yeah.
You did it to yourself, dog. Did it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I
You
don't
can't
know.
be mad at
I'm like you
nobody
said.
else.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm here for it. I'm glad to see it because regardless of how much power this man had, how much money this man had, he had to be stopped. And I know the whole thing was. I know I told you that we ain't gonna stop. Well, yeah, you gonna stop now, nigga, ain't you?
Yep.
Sorry,
Yep.
yeah.
Nah, I definitely understand that, man. How you feel about putting yourself in the husband's shoes? Cassie's husband. I can't remember his name right now. How would
Alex
you
Fine,
feel?
or something like that.
Yeah, Alex something. Yeah. How would you feel sitting there having to listen to all that, man?
Well, I would think that I would think that he already knew a whole lot of that at this
Mm-hmm.
point in their relationship.
I would
Because
pray.
if I'm not mistaken, at some point he was a trainer for Puffy.
Yep, he paid
So
him. Yeah, paid him a
yeah,
trainer.
so I would think that he knew about most of it. He might not have had all the explicit details that we
Mm-hmm.
got, but I know he put out a statement yesterday, and that was a really good statement where he pretty much just said, you know, she's a strong woman. You know, I've never been more proud of her. I was proud of what she did. I'm proud of her bravery, proud of her courage. You know, he's doing everything to
He's
me
supposed to.
to be that supportive husband. And you know, if that's the role he's gonna play, if that's the role he has, and if he's sincere in that, then you know, I can't be
Mm-hmm.
mad at that. You know, nobody wants to hear what a loved one has to go through in their moments of
Mm.
trauma, especially with what she had to go through.
Oh
But
yeah.
again, I'm thinking at this point in their relationship, I think this is their third kid they're getting ready to have. I would think that he already knew a whole lot about that. So I think most of the emotions that those would provide, I think he's already gone through those emotions. So a lot of it was probably just rehashing a lot of it. So I'd say he was probably, you know,
So this is how I see it, man.
I hope anyway. I'm hoping for the
Yeah.
best.
How I see it, I agree with you that I think by now, especially being hired from Diddy and him freshly being there, like they was even dating a little bit while she was still doing stuff with Diddy.
Yeah.
I think he, had a full understanding of the dynamics of that relationship, that she was getting abused and all this shit. I mean, it's just me speculating, and I could be 100% wrong. I feel like he probably didn't know a lot of the specific details that are coming out now.
Right.
So, of course, it's my wife. Like, say my wife now, she told me, hey, I was sexually assaulted back in the day or whatever. Typically, I'm not a person, I don't even want to know the details. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I get it. I understand you went through a dark time. I'm here for you. I understand it's going to be a healing journey the rest of your life.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
damn, to have to sit there and hear the details, like as a man, just thinking about that, because I've been trying to put myself in his position this whole time. Because I'm like, one, if I hear about my wife getting raped or whatever, I'm angry as hell. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Even
Right.
before me, whatever, I'm still angry. Because I'm like, it's my beautiful baby right here, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You still gonna want revenge?
Yeah, you still want revenge, but then you do hear that point of, oh well, I loved him. I did go back, and it was great. We had a great memories and shit. And I'm like, damn, bitch. Like, that's gonna go through my head. Like, fuck. Like, I'm just gonna think this shit. It's gonna go through. I'm obviously
That's
still gonna
natural.
support her. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
natural.
that's
But
just
then when I
natural.
hear the freaky shit, like, man, so imagine we at home just having some old missionary sex, and I come in court hearing you rubbing nut on Diddy's nipples and shit like that,
Yeah, man, it's
and
crazy.
your mouth got sores and shit, man. And I'm like, boy, it'd be hard now. And the camera comes, I'm gonna be in there doing the same shit. So I'm like, I wonder if it's a difference when he comes, but them cameras is off and they at home, and he just sitting there like, he know he can't be mad at her because it ain't her fault. But it's like, damn, I wish I'd have never heard some of this shit that I had to hear. Like I heard Diddy's daughters had to get up and leave at some point, hearing some of the
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
Just
So I
like,
remember. Yeah, I saw that too.
man,
I
I
saw
wouldn't even
that
want to
too.
hear about my daddy getting no damn nut rubbed on his nipples and shit. Like, man, I'm like, oh man, I get the fuck up out of here, man. I can't hear
Yeah,
this
true that.
shit.
True
It's
that. I hadn't even thought about that aspect of it, but yeah,
oh
I
man,
guess that's true. I don't know that if I'm him, I wouldn't want them. I would want their support, but I don't know that I would want them in the courtroom to hear all that
yeah,
either.
I
You
don't,
know,
yeah.
that's
I would
that's
ask my significant other. I'd be like, look, baby, I love you. I'm glad you're here to support me. And I mean, really, you're not even gonna be able to get away from it because
right, right,
internet
right.
memes and shit like that is gonna get out unless you just disconnect from everything. But I'd be like, baby, I don't want you in here to hear some of this shit that's about to be said in this courtroom. you
Yeah,
know,
either,
especially if
yeah,
it's an old version of me or something like that. I don't.
yeah, man, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
say it takes a strong man to sit there and have to listen to all that, man.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And like, man, yeah, like you said, I wonder, I do wonder what all he knew going in beforehand. I wonder if she let him know
hmm
some stuff going in. Once she realized she was going to be testifying and whatnot, I wonder if she's like, okay, look, there's some other stuff I might have to tell you. You know,
yeah.
I don't, I don't, I don't. You know, it's hard to speculate without knowing the dynamics of their relationship,
Oh
without
yeah.
knowing. But they appear to have a very strong relationship. So I'm imagining that they'll be able to get through it. But
hmm
you know, like you said, there's always going to be those thoughts in the back of your head. And like you said, one of them days, like, I don't know, man. It might be inappropriate on my part to say it, but at the same time, like you said, you having, your regular old missionary sex. There's going to be a part of you that's going to say, well, you know,
Yeah.
you know,
I
can
want a
we?
little spice here and there too. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
like, yeah, how you spice it up without being? How you say? Can we spice it up without being an asshole about it? You know what I'm saying?
If you think about it, and I know some of the listeners probably been there too. If you think about it, back in the day, be that one you hear about that one hoe down the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Homeboys and had a good time. You know what I'm saying? You like shit. I kind of want my turn, and you get with her, and
yeah,
she wants to be girlfriend and shit. You like, nah, I want what these niggas said that they was getting. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I don't
yeah.
want
Oh yeah.
the clean version.
Right,
you know
right,
what I
right.
mean?
I want the X-rated version too. So,
Yeah. Oh
and I mean,
man.
and to me, that's just a natural thought. So,
Yeah, it is.
but again, like I said, we're saying all this without knowing what they got going on. For all we know, they could be doing freaky tales in their
Yeah,
bedroom.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
They could, and that could be all good, But
hmm
that'd be real hard to hear a lot of
gotta
the
be
stuff he
tough.
had to hear. It's a strong ass man, man. I can't
Yeah,
hate
that's a
on him.
strong.
And
Yeah.
I know the bro culture, the the man,
hmm
toxic masculinity culture is gonna be like, yeah, I can do that shit.
Oh
He's
yeah.
a, he's a simp, da 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 da, whatever, whatever, and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit plays a part to me. He's either
Nah.
if he loves her like he says he loves her, then he's gonna be there for her
And I'm
regardless.
glad you said that because that ain't no simp shit. That is strength. You know what I
Yes,
mean? That's
yes,
literally strength to be able to tolerate and deal with that shit because our egos as men, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That shit is hard. Especially, man, I couldn't imagine the whole world knowing that my wife was in this freaky ass shit with another man
yeah,
and they
yeah,
got videos and shit and I'm just sitting here and she was still messing with the nigga while we was together.
yeah.
Like,
Oh
man,
yeah.
whew. Yeah, it's a, hey, more power to you, my guy.
Hey man, hey,
Um,
that's a strong ass
that's a
man right
strong
there.
ass man. Yeah, I'm glad you
Yeah,
said that, man. Uh,
yeah,
but now we'll see. We'll definitely have some more updates on here for y'all.
yeah,
In
yeah. That's gonna get
regards,
good.
yeah,
I
this ain't
saw I
going
saw his
nowhere.
bodyguard, one of his former bodyguards, is talking shit. I'm like, they need to call that man to stand.
Oh yeah,
He can't be out here saying all this shit on Twitter and
nope.
whatnot. And whether it's true or not, I don't know. But if he's gonna come on Twitter and say all that shit, they need to put that
Yeah,
man on
come
the
on,
stand,
man. Get on
putting him
trial.
up there.
Get on the stands.
They're talking about all the Jamie Foxx shit and whatnot. They're just throwing all kinds of stuff to the wall to see if it's gonna stick.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
if all that stuff is true, then I want to see that shit in court because we've been hearing
Mm-hmm.
about shit for a long time about this man. So,
Oh,
if
yeah.
it's true, I hope they bring it out. I hope they bring it all out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll see though, but yeah, we'll keep y'all posted on
Oh
any
yeah,
updates. Clear up any kind of confusion that you got going on with it. So next question for you, my man.
all right. What we got? What we
Coincidence
got?
or conspiracy? So the Mavericks trade away Luka, then land the
Yeah,
number one pick. So let's break
yep.
down the smoke and see if there's some fire to it. So, what you
All
thinking,
right.
man? NBA rigged or what we got going on here?
So here's my thing, because it's really nuanced when you talk about it. Is sports rigged? Is NBA rigged and whatnot? It's really a nuanced thing, and from where I sit, I do not think that they rigged the NBA lottery. And the main reason I think they did not rig the NBA lottery is because the people they have running the lottery is the Ernst Young company,
Mm-hmm.
and that is a $1 billion company.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna say they're. I'm not gonna say they're. I'm just from where I stand, they lose a lot of credibility if it ever gets exposed that they participated in something illegal to rig the NBA draft.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine that a company as big as them is going to risk all their credibility over the NBA draft lottery. And that's just from where I sit. Now, at the same time, is it possible that they could collaborate behind the scenes and make things work? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna act like two billionaire companies can't rig things in their favor. At the
Mm-hmm.
same time, if that ever got exposed, and we all know loose lips sink ships, if that ever got exposed, you're talking about the credibility of the NBA going down the hill and the credibility of an accounting company going down the hill.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's just too to me, that's just too much to risk for Cooper Flag.
It
But
is.
and I could be naive. Could be naive. It could be going on behind the scenes as we speak. But from where I sit, I just don't see it.
So I'll tell you the two kind of arguments I've been seeing about it. One, I don't know too much about the NBA. I know because I've had this discussion before over NFL, and NFL is, categorized as an entertainment business. So they are there for
Correct.
entertainment, just like wrestling. They can
Yep.
move some shit around, and it wouldn't be illegal. You know what I'm saying? But they can move some shit around
Oh yeah.
to make it entertaining. That's the business they in. To get
Yes.
people going. Trades like that get people going big time.
Oh yeah.
So I had actually seen a little stat come out, and I'm kind of go over it real quick to see why a lot
Okay.
of people do think that the shit is rigged. So 2010, Brian leaves. The Cavs signs with the Heat.
Right.
Who wins the lottery right after that? The Cavs win it.
Princeton Cavs did. They got Kyrie Irving, right?
Cavs got Kyrie. They had a 2.8% odds of winning the lottery.
Right.
So same thing. Chris Paul gets traded to the Clippers from the Hornets. Who wins the lottery right
Hornets.
after that? Pelicans get the lottery. I think what they had 13.7% chance. Their top pick, they take Anthony Davis.
Right. Right.
Bringing Anthony Davis back in the picture again. He gets traded in 2019 to the Lakers.
From the Pelicans.
Who wins the lottery that year? The Pelicans win it. They get
Yeah.
what's the dude's name? Big
Oh,
dude on
Zion.
Pelican. Yeah, Zion Williamson. When they
Yeah.
had a 6% chance of winning the lottery. And then now, again, AD traded for Luka. Mavericks got it now. And they had
Right.
a 1.8% chance. So it's
Mhm.
like, damn, you trade away your number one star. You know what I mean? And it's like, it does. Look, I'm big on patterns and shit. There's a
Yeah. Yeah.
pattern
Yeah.
here. If you make that big of a commitment to get rid of the number one person, it almost seems like the NBA rewards you with a top pick to soften that blow for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to. It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard to deny.
Mm-hmm.
It gets hard. It gets hard. It's definitely hard to deny.
Yeah.
I can't front on that. But man, if I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard to deny. I
It
can't front on
is.
that. At the same time, I will say this: if they did rig the draft lottery for Dallas to win it, I'm still not mad at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand completely because the NBA cannot reward tanking. So
No, I agree.
if they are doing something behind the scenes to manipulate the outcome, I'm not mad at this one because I don't want to see Cooper Flag in Utah. I don't want to see Cooper Flag in Washington. And I know the
God, I
folks.
don't want to see
I
him in
know the
Washington.
Yeah, I know the folks in Charlotte are pissed off right now too, but I don't want to see him in Charlotte either. As
Oh
much as I
God,
love
no.
them, as much as I love Lamelo Bell, that's another poverty franchise. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see good players go to bad
I
franchises.
hate to. Yeah, the
And
Wizards are the number one. Don't go there because it's just
you know what
over.
I'm saying? It's like
Mm-hmm.
they're losing. These teams are tragically bad.
Yeah.
We can't be putting good talent on those tragically bad
Nah, it's
teams.
like John Wall going
Not
to
when
the
they're losing on
Wizards.
purpose anyway.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
So if it is rigged, I'm not mad. But I don't know, man. It just seems like a whole lot of work to do to ruin the credibility of your league. But it goes back to what you said. These are entertainment leagues, much like
Mm-hmm.
wrestling. So
And think about it. It is with those companies. It is probably very easy to manipulate that system without leaving evidence.
they
So
can definitely do it without leaving evidence. I
yeah.
think the hardest part would be keeping people quiet. Like if you're gonna do
Oh
it,
yeah.
you can't have more than 2, 3 people who
You can't
know.
have too many people involved in that.
No, you can't, man, because somebody's gonna talk.
Oh yeah.
Somebody is gonna talk.
Like you said, loose lips sink ships, man.
Yeah,
Somebody gonna talk.
that's always been one of the things. Like I know a lot of people. I know a whole lot of people say that sports in general is rigged. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and a lot of them will point out the refereeing, calls made during games, timely calls, untimely calls, how the referees call the games, flags thrown, picked
Mm-hmm.
up when clearly there was a violation. I've always felt like people forget the human element factor when it comes to refereeing in ball
Mm-hmm.
games. And I've always stated, you know, a referee can make in basketball, a referee can call a foul if a
Yeah.
foul wasn't there. The player still has to go make the free throws.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
if the player misses the free throws, then it's hard to say, well, the referee did that on purpose in my eyes. And I think it's harder to control a game when you got the athletes out there because how you going to have all this rigged and
The players
you
have to
ain't got
be in on it to some extent. If you really think
yeah,
the system is that rigged, players
yeah.
would have to be involved in it at some point.
Players, coaches, everybody would have to be involved. And there's no way you can have all these
Yeah.
people involved and ain't nobody said
But
nothing.
do you think certain people, like, think about, like, in this situation, LeBron said he didn't know nothing about this trade. Do you really think LeBron didn't know nothing about this trade as big as he is? And
Hell
not
no.
been like, okay, yeah, y'all can trade my dog away, knowing we got a top pick. They got a top pick coming in, and we got Luka coming in.
Hell no. I'm gonna say it like this: if LeBron didn't know they were getting Luka, then what are the Lakers waiting on? They need to go on and trade LeBron and Bronny too,
Mm-hmm.
because if they're not consulting that man before they do something that big, then that
Now
means
he'd
they
be
really don't
gone.
give a shit about LeBron.
Oh yeah.
And we know when they drafted Bronny that they give a whole lot of shits about LeBron.
Oh
They care
yeah.
about LeBron. They're gonna do everything they can to appease that man. So there is no way in hell that man did not know
That's
that
all I'm like. I
AD was
agree.
gone
Yeah,
for
I was
Luka.
like,
There's
they're
no
not gonna
way,
make a
man.
move that big without. And you part of the reason why AD's even there. So they
Yeah,
definitely gonna talk to you like, hey, bro, just so you know, this nigga gone. Don't play that I
yeah,
didn't know shit. Like, come on, bro.
yeah. You can't tell me that phone call didn't go, hey, LeBron, this Rob, man. Hey, look, man, I'm sorry to bother you, but I can get Luca. And I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna trade your boy, but I can get Luca. I just want to get
Mm-hmm.
your blessing. I need your blessing because I can pull this trigger right now. I got this man in the coffee shop right now.
Yeah.
He's ready to give me Luca.
And he probably
There's
like,
no
look, just don't
there's no
say
way.
y'all told me. You know what I'm saying? He just I'm gonna deny it. Let's have that agreement that I'm gonna deny this shit that I
Yeah,
didn't know. And he probably
yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Oh
Hell,
man.
he already had the statement where he said, well, he already had the statement after the playoffs where he said it was just him and Luca on the team and they ain't had
Mm-hmm.
nobody else. So it's like shit. Hell, he's already all in with him and Luca. So
Oh
hell,
yeah.
I
It's
ain't trying to hear he didn't know nothing about that.
yeah.
There's no way. There is just no way. That man is
Nah.
too large.
Absolutely. Now, a question with that though, say say things. Let's say this: do you think fans really do care if it's rigged or not? Like
Mm,
realistically, I know we complain about it, people talk about it, but it's like think about it. People talk about it all the time. Oh, NBA's rigged, NBA's rigged, and yet they still watch it. So does like do
yeah.
they really care if it was rigged? because it's
Clearly
entertainment.
they don't.
You
Clearly
know what I
they don't.
mean?
They said the same thing about the NFL, and everybody
Oh
still
yeah,
watches the NFL.
you still
You hear
watching
it
it,
all the time. The NFL's rigged, the NBA's rigged, all sports is rigged, but we're all still watching.
and we
We
still
all still
paying, we still subscribing. You know what I
still
mean?
gambling.
Yep.
Folks be like it's rigged, and they'll go and put $10 on a parlay. You know what I'm saying? Well, if it's rigged, why you betting?
Yep. That's real talk though, on the real. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it is.
I don't know, man. I've kind of with sports, it is one of those things. Like personally, I probably wouldn't care if it was rigged because it's still entertainment. I watch
Yeah,
sports
yeah,
for the entertainment of it. I love a good
right.
ass game. So if there's a little bit of rigging in it to make that game good, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
There's more
absolutely.
important shit that I care about being rigged, like presidential elections, shit like that. But sports,
Yeah, man.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I might mess up my bag betting or whatever, but yeah, I'm still gonna be entertained either which way it
Yeah, oh, yeah,
goes out.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and it goes. But take it back to baseball when they used to let them take steroids.
Oh yeah,
So, but they acted like they didn't know about it.
yeah.
Stuff like that. Stuff like that. I'm gonna say, yeah. I guess that is kind of rigging the game. But if you letting everybody
If
do
it's
it,
fair and
how bad is
open,
it?
hey, you know
Because
what I'm saying?
the pitchers were juicing, the hitters were juicing. Hey, let them have at it, man. I really didn't care about none of that. The integrity of the game or whatever, as they
Nah,
say.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm like you. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if it was rigged. I'm still gonna watch. I'm always gonna watch. I'm still gonna bet on it. I'm still
Hmm.
gonna do all the same things I've done. Sports has been a high source of entertainment for me for my entire life. So
I'm right there with
if
you.
if you tell me it's rigged, I'm gonna say, okay, what time's the game come on?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what
Right
I'm saying?
there with you. Yeah, like okay, that's cool. Hopefully they rig this shit so my team win the championship. You know what I'm saying? I've
Yeah,
been committed
yeah,
too long in this shit. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Oh man, that's
Ah, yeah.
funny. Switching up to our last topic. So apparently, if you're rich, white, and politically connected, the sky is the limit, literally.
The
Because
limits.
the limit. Trump did just get a jet, over $400 million jet gifted to him, and the South Africans getting flights, and the rest of the world just gets left behind. So
Mm,
let's kind of jump into this, man. Let's start with the
all right.
let's first start with this plane situation.
Okay.
Kind of hit on the legality and the implications of accepting this kind of gift of this nature and stature, because a $400 million gift from country that supports terrorist organizations,
Mm-hmm. Help support 9/11.
yeah, uh, all other initiatives that have killed our American men and women, and we talking about accepting a plane from them. Um, so this has been a good this is a good clearly confused one, because there's been a lot of talks. People don't understand, is it legal, is it not
Right.
legal.
Mm-hmm.
One, it's illegal. You can't
Highly.
accept gifts. You can't.
Nope.
And I think I want to give Charlemagne credit too, because I listened to him talk about it a little bit. And one of the things he said, and I do agree with, is we have to stop bringing up the question in these situations, because that's when it kind of leaves the door open to, maybe he's not abusing power. It's illegal. Why are we talking about is it illegal or not? We know it's
Right.
illegal. This is one of those clear cut. There is no gray area on this one. You cannot take gifts from other nations. And even if there wasn't illegal, morality will say, I'm not going to take a gift from somebody that finances terrorist groups that have killed our people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That families are dying for it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's just a common sense kind of thing. And that, I don't care what side of the fence, Republican, Democratic, it doesn't matter. When it comes to following our Constitution, that's an American thing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That's not a
Oh
party
yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
That's everybody has to be involved in that and following that, no matter where you stand on that pole. So seeing this, and even to have a discussion on if it's legal or not, and should he be okay with it, it's like, why are we even here? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. And should we even be surprised that we're here? Is another question. I
Yeah.
saw somebody say, when you have a felon as a president, these kind of things are going to happen, and
Hmm.
it's easy to it's.
It's easy to
I'm not going.
manipulate them.
It's real easy to manipulate them, and we're sitting here watching it in real time, and folks are, uh, kind of like Puffy. Folks are defending it. Folks are saying, well, what's wrong with it? Well, Joe Biden's son received money from China. What's the difference? The
Mm-hmm.
people are saying we got the gift of the Statue of Liberty from France. They it's like people don't understand the difference between the Statue of Liberty and a $400 million plane that this man is going to keep
Yeah,
for himself.
and I'm glad you
And
said that because people that
and
needs to be cleared up too. That he gets to keep that after he
yeah,
is done as president. That is his plane. That's not a Air Force One gift to the presidents in the future. That's Trump's
no,
fucking plane. My
yes,
bad, man.
yes.
I just wanted to stop right
No,
there
you
because some
good.
people miss that point of it all too.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember exactly who was the president when the Statue of Liberty was gifted to the United States of America, but you know, he didn't take that son of a bitch home and put it in his front yard.
Yeah, come on, yeah,
That was a
that's
gift to the
valid.
country.
Mm-hmm.
This is entirely different because we know this man put up the he. It was 2 weeks before he got that plane. He was in Qatar, and he said he was going to open up another Trump resort there.
Yeah,
So a lot of this is a quid pro quo.
exactly.
And folks don't understand that. This man said, I'm gonna go over here to your country and I'm gonna help y'all make money with some of my stuff. And they said, as in return,
We're gonna help you out.
we're gonna give you a plane.
It's a
And
business handshake,
yeah,
clearly.
man. And we all know nothing in life comes for free. Yeah, they're
Nothing.
doing that whole quid pro quo thing right now with the plane in the golf resort. But what else are they gonna want from this man
Oh
going
yeah.
forward? Because it's not gonna stop at this plane. And the
Mm-hmm.
question becomes, what is he gonna give them
Oh
going
yeah.
forward?
And he
Because
knows
he's
this
going,
is it. That's what scares
yeah,
me. I know I'm it. I don't have to run again. I can
yeah.
set my family up for life. My
And
name.
that's literally all he's been
Oh
doing.
yeah.
That's all he's doing is fattening their pockets. They said Trump family's made $2.9 billion since inauguration.
Mm-hmm. Golly.
2.9 billion. And he's just supposed to be running the country. So I just wish I hate to say wake up. I wish folks would wake up and
Mm-hmm.
see what is really going on and seeing how detrimental it's going to be to our country going forward. But at the same time, I feel like it's too late because
Yeah. It
they've
is.
implemented a lot of things that they wanted to implement, and it's going to take years, if not decades, to undo
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of
It
the
ain't
things
gonna
that
be
they've
like, oh,
done.
you get somebody else in next 4 years and you just flip everything. No. There's gonna be
No,
a impact that happens from all this that's gonna resonate for a while. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
It's
and
but this is why we need, and I'll shout out, you know what I'm saying, shout out to the people on his party that are speaking up and saying
yeah,
this is not right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
right,
know you're a Republican with me, but that ain't right what you're doing. I know I saw Nikki Haley say something about it.
mm,
Some other correspondents and stuff too. It's like you can't. It's right or wrong. I mean,
right, right,
and
right,
it doesn't matter. Like that's why we're back to being Americans. Every president, regardless, needs to follow the Constitution for
right,
certain reasons, and that reasons are national security. So you got this plane from people to support terrorists. One,
right.
imagine what kind of security has to go through making sure there ain't nothing on that plane. You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
so I'm glad you said that because one thing that we've learned about this administration from the first term and even this term is that when it comes to doing things uh, competently, they really don't. So can we really trust this administration to go over that plane the way that plane should be gone over if they are indeed going to end up using it? Because I'm assuming they're going to use it. I haven't heard them say they're not going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of talk about the plane, but are they going to do everything they need to do to check out that plane to make sure there ain't nothing going on with that plane? I mean, that plane could be bugged. They could have all
Man,
kinds. They could have
bug
all kinds of stuff on that
tracking.
plane,
There might be technology that we can't even like transmitters that we haven't even picked up on yet to where
which is
they can
possible because
hear
we know they got
everything.
a shitload of money over there.
Come on, they have access to everything, man. They can put some shit on there, have their own people involved in our security that will bypass shit that they see that's a red flag in there.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
and then to the American people, we talking about Doge and y'all getting all excited about all that shit. Who's paying for all this? I forgot what the cost predicted to even do the security sweep of the plane is going to cost. But to get it retrofitted is going to cost you millions of dollars to get it
yeah,
retrofitted to actually be an Air Force One and to have what it needs to have to handle the president. And it
and we're
really
gonna
made
pay
me
for all that.
discuss it too. Is he put out like a whatever platform that's social? Um, he
True.
put out a little comment on there talking about Like, what idiot wouldn't take a $400 million plane?
Yeah, yeah,
Nigga,
yeah.
the
It's a dude
president of the
thing.
United States wouldn't. What the fuck are we talking about? What? I was like, what do you mean? What kind of stupid ass question is that? The president is the nigga that shouldn't be taking a $400 million plane. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. Like, what?
Oh
Dog, that
yeah,
shit is
yeah.
crazy, man. I don't even care if the plane came from like Canada or something, one of our ally nations. Like, I don't
Right,
want
right,
that
right,
shit. And like,
right,
you still got to do a crazy ass sweep of that shit. Like, no, you shouldn't be accepting any gifts. You know what I'm
right.
saying? There shouldn't be anything that even just looks remotely wrong in this situation. Like, there's some favoritism or some kind of deal on the back end because, like you said, nobody gives you nothing for free. There is
Mm-mm.
always a string attached to it. Somebody wants something in return for this right here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine if this had been Barack Obama
Oh
getting
god,
a plane from a country that has Muslim ties? We
boy,
already heard his whole term. We all heard that he was
then
Muslim.
we
Can
know
you
it.
imagine if they?
We
Can
know
you?
it.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they gave that man a $400 million plane? Man, folks would have had him impeached by Monday.
Oh yeah,
He'd have
he'd
been
be
gone. He'd have
done.
been out of there.
Yeah, he'd be done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the
But now,
Democrats wouldn't have been able to shield him either. They'd been like, shit,
no,
yeah, you gotta
they'd
get
have
this nigga
turned
up
on him
out of
too.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd turn on him too. They'd turn on
Hmm.
him real quick. So, and I hate to do the whataboutism, but at the same time, those are things that people need to think about because
Oh yeah.
if he's going to accept this plane from Qatar, what's going to stop him from accepting something from Saudi Arabia that's going to impact the country in a negative way? What's going to stop him? Well, I mean, the South African immigrants. We can go into that.
Hmm.
You know, we're sitting here deporting immigrants from Mexico, all the
Oh
all
yeah.
the Caribbean countries, all the Latin American countries. We're,
All
we're
the
deporting
dark
those
colored
immigrants on.
people,
Yeah, yeah, black and
countries.
brown people. They're
Yeah.
getting deported on a daily basis, and the immigrants from South Africa coming in, and we get pictures of them, and these dudes got luggage.
Yeah.
They're
Come
rolling
on.
through the airport with their luggage on the wheels. They're getting Ubered. They're staying
And
in
they being
hotels and this, that, and the other.
discriminated against. Come on.
Yeah. So we're protecting them from discrimination, but we're not protecting our own people from discrimination. That's
They're
what I don't
doing this shit in
understand.
our face, man.
In our
That's what makes
face,
me
man. And,
mad.
and it's like I don't want to say we shouldn't be fighting anymore. And I'm not going to say that we should ever give up the fight because we shouldn't. We absolutely shouldn't. We have to pass on that fight. We have to keep on
Hmm.
fighting. At the end of the day, there's only going to be one way to win that fight. And
Hmm.
I don't know when that's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. I still feel like while the country is in somewhat of a race war, I still feel like it's in the psychological stage right now. So at some point, it's gonna become a physical war. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know when, but if
Things
it
get
does,
bad enough, it will.
yeah. If not, nothing's ever gonna change. I mean,
No.
how you gonna stop that much power?
Yeah.
And I just don't see it. I don't see it in my lifetime anyway.
Nah.
I've come to
It's
grips with that. It took me a while to come to grips with that, but I've come to grips with, I'm not going to see, I don't expect to see equality before I die.
no. And I think should we can go ahead and kind of transition into our takeaways on these. I know specifically with this, man. My takeaway is for one, everybody do your research. We get hung up a lot on headlines,
Hmm.
and we just take
Quickly.
it and we don't really dive deep into it. For example, too, you can read a headline of I think it was something like when they first got Doge going, they were like, yeah, all these dead people are getting money and shit like that. And then you kind
Hmm.
of do a deep dive and research into it, and it's like, yeah, some people stay on there. They're not getting money, but they're staying in this registry until they get finally cleared out. They're not getting money from it, but yeah, they still
Right.
show in the registry. Just because old registry that constantly getting updated. But the people aren't getting money, hence why
Hmm.
you haven't heard out of all this shit from Doge, how much fraud did they find?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Who's
You have
gotten
not
arrested?
heard a amount at all. Think about it. I mean, we know Trump. If Trump were to find $10 million of fraud going on, he's gonna say there's $100 million of fraud. We have not heard
Right.
anything. You can't tell me. So it's one, just because somebody says it. My takeaway is don't do your research and really
Hmm.
learn. And that's any which way. It could be a Trump said this, and it actually is a good thing. It could be a Trump said this. No, it's horrible. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
fully research, we get so stuck on just taking that first headline and running with it, and we don't
Oh yeah.
really know. And you end up arguing a point that ain't even really there. So
Right.
just really dive into what's going on, and you'll see, like, you wouldn't even have to question, is this legal? Because the Constitution says it's illegal.
Right.
It just should be done. Everybody should be stopped right there. But yeah, my takeaway from that is just pretty much question everything and don't let the bullshit slide. Like, the whole Doge thing's pissing me off because, like, think about how much money, again, would have to be spent from taxpayers' money, our fucking money, on this. I think about it when he says he wants to do a parade. That's coming out of our pockets for
We'll
a
be paying
fucking
for that.
military parade. You know what I'm saying? For
Right.
you and your birthday and shit. The fuck?
Crazy.
Like, what? No, I'm not paying for that shit. So,
Right.
you hearing this Doge and all, we're going to be saving all this money and shit. Think about what they sneaking in that you're going to be paying for their own favor. Not to build our country. This is shit just to gloat and have your own personal deal when you get the fuck out of office.
Right.
So that's kind of my takeaway on it.
All right. I'd say my takeaway on it is kind of alluding to what I was saying earlier, that some things are just never going to change.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how we will overcome the situation with Trump. I feel like things are moving in a direction that we all need to be aware of, and we all need to stay vigilant when it comes to watching. And I don't like throwing that dictatorship word around lightly because it's a pretty heavy word.
It is.
But when we're seeing people be silenced and people getting away from the Constitution,
I was about to say that is the key.
I think people need to keep an eye on that going forward because we're still in the beginning stages of this second term.
Mm-hmm. So we ain't even made it through a year, dog.
Yeah, we ain't even got to July yet. You know what I'm saying?
God damn.
And shit's just crazy. And I know folks are gonna come out and be like, "Oh, y'all just hate Trump, this, that, and the other." It's at this point, it's not about that. At this point, it's about what's gonna be best for the country going
right
forward.
Or wrong. Yeah, it's not even, like I said, it's not even about just the person. It's about what is happening that we're just letting slide. And like you said, that Constitution, this man is blatantly, I don't give a fuck who the person is. You cannot blatantly just ignore the Constitution. There's no way.
I used to fight with Republicans about on message boards. We would get into these big, deep, heated debates. And I would always say, we need to redo the Constitution. I said, I'm not saying we need to get rid of it, but we need to modernize it because it was written in the 1700s. And it's 2000 now. We shouldn't be following the same rules that we had in the 1700s. But I'm not saying get rid of it. And they would go off on me, calling me un-American, this, that, and the other, this, that. And that's like, I would love to talk to these people now to see where their head's at because everything that I was saying is what your boy is doing now.
Yeah. Changing it is un-American, but not following is not un-American.
Right. And sense. I would just love to follow up and see what they got to say about it right now. Because like I said, this man he's gonna get rid of the Constitution. And if he ain't gonna get rid of the Constitution, he's just gonna ignore it and nobody's gonna stop him. Which is pretty much damn near the same thing. Yeah, I think it's gonna be weird as hell to go from where we're at right now to a new election in 2028, and then somebody takes over and things just, like you said, go back to how they used to be. That's not going to happen, man. The door has been open. Once he accepted this plane,
box is open, baby.
Yeah, man. Once he accepts this plane, what's going to stop the next person to come in from doing the same type of shit, man?
You set a new precedent.
Yeah, it's a whole new ballgame out here. To me, it's a whole new world. I think we're venturing into the unknown territory. So my takeaway is, stay vigilant, stay on top of stuff, and stay aware. And much like Deuce said, man, do your research. Don't just fall into a headline. Do your research.
Oh, yeah.
And find out what is really going on as opposed to just sitting back and being complacent with what is going on. Because at the end of the day, it's going to bite us all in our ass.
Oh, yeah. And that's really, that applies to all of our topics, man. Do your research. Don't take it on the head. We just have to, as a society, and that's kind of thing that worries me a little bit about some of this AI stuff, is that we will lose that critical thinking. A lot of people just go to the internet to be told what to think. Now, get on there to see the different opinions, man. Go to different channels. Hell, we was watching Fox News last night just to see. I want to see what this side says about this topic. Like, I want to make sure that they're saying this shit is wrong. Because if they not, I don't want to hear that shit. If you're not
Yeah,
if somebody's blatantly going against the Constitution again, I don't want to hear what you got to say at that point because I know you're just gonna say whatever. So,
yeah, oh yeah,
and that's a good point too. Is listen, even to the people on the other side. Like again, I can at least say Nikki Haley, for sure, spoke out against it, and that's her own party, and that's what it should. That's
right,
what democracy is. Is you
yeah,
should speak out to wrong, no matter what, whether it's your side doing it wrong or not. You have to speak out when shit is wrong. Otherwise, wrong shit starts getting looked at as right.
right. You're right about that. You're absolutely right.
But nah, man, I appreciate you with the topics and the takeaways on it.
Ah, yeah,
So it's funny. So we got a new little segment for you guys. It's funny because we just said don't take headlines and just run with them.
right.
But part of this segment, we will be hitting on some headlines of the week, and we are going to do that point just like that, just so you can see how funny it is and point out some of this dumb shit that gets pointed out here, which come to look like this one specifically might not be as bullshit as we thinking it is. So
Yeah, man.
so the headline this week was the DHS is reportedly entertaining a reality show where immigrants are ultimately going to compete to get citizenship. Now, when I seen that, the first thing that went to my fucking head was like some Hunger Games type shit, some
Ah,
Squid
yeah.
Games.
Squid Game's the first thing that popped up in my head.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought about that shit and I was like, yeah, that's funny as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
It's
That's one of those things where, well, like you said, I looked into it a little bit, and
mm-hmm.
it does seem like it's real. It seems like at the very least they're going to try to get this stuff off the ground.
That's crazy.
They got a writer and producer from Duck Dynasty. I can't remember his name right now, but they
Oh
got a
my
writer and
god.
producer from Duck Dynasty who was working on putting this show together with Christy Nome, and it's going to be called The American. That's what
Oh
I
my
saw.
god.
Oh yeah, yeah. So can you imagine the things that they're going to be that these people will come up with for these people to become American
That
citizens?
shit is almost disgusting. It is just that's embarrassing as shit, man. It's one of the
Oh
things.
yeah,
It's funny as shit when I think back. I'm like, that's funny as fuck. These motherfuckers. I think about like crackheads dancing for money. You know what I'm
yeah, man,
saying?
yeah.
You getting them out of the element to do something to entertain you, to pay them for the shit they going through.
Right,
Uh,
right, right.
so it's kind of the
I
same
don't know
thing.
I don't know what's worse. The fact that they would come up with this idea for this show, or the fact that there will be willing participants who will do
Yeah.
everything they can to win that citizenship so they can come to America. And then the other factor is who's gonna watch. You know, a shitload of people are gonna
Oh,
watch this
everybody's
show.
gonna watch that shit.
Everybody's gonna watch
Yeah.
it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna probably tune in to at
It's
least the
gonna
first
get
episode
entertaining. Let me
to
see a
see
funny
what's going
clip.
on. Yeah,
Oh man, my humor is too messed up for it.
yeah, yeah, man. I mean, I got dark humor, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna tune in for at least an episode to see what they got these folks doing. And
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
have
saying
to
I'm
see
gonna
what it's
sit through
about.
it, but I'm gonna have to watch.
Hmm.
Gonna have to. And like you said, it's disgusting as hell. But when it comes to entertainment, there is no line. There's clearly no line. But
Now,
I would say, I guess the thing that would bother me the most is the fact that our government would be that involved in it, and that our government would be that involved in putting this together.
and a
You know,
show to get people. Yeah,
if you told me it was some folks from Hollywood that was doing this shit, I'd be like, yeah, well, they do dumb shit all the time. The fact
that's
that
what they're
it's our
supposed to do.
government,
Our
yeah, the fact
government,
that it's our
dog.
government, it's like shit. That's just an embarrassment,
And we
man. It's just
playing
an
with.
embarrassment.
And think about this. We're playing. If this was true, I don't know of the truth of it. Funny ass headline. But if this is true, we're literally gambling and playing with fucking citizenship. So
Yeah, man,
that diminishes the importance of the citizenship
you're right. I mean, that's
because
a great point.
yeah, like damn, it's citizenship doesn't mean that much that we can just have people play games to get it. Because I felt
Hmm.
that way when it was offered. Hey, I forgot what it was. You pay $5 million, you can get this gold card to be a citizen. So people
Yeah,
can just pay as long as you got money. You can pay to be a fucking citizen. What does
basically.
citizen mean after that point? You know what I'm saying? People can just buy it. That's like I think about my fraternity. Now I say this all the time. That's why I love my fraternity specifically. We
Uh
don't
huh.
do honorary members. You know what I
Right, right.
mean? Just because
Oh
you're
yeah.
famous, got money. No, nigga, you still got to put in the same work. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? To
Oh
get
yeah.
in. There ain't no, I'm famous. Let me put money in, and now I get to wear your shit. Because now,
Yeah.
to me, you're gonna diminish my everything I did to get here. Now I don't even want to do this shit no more. If you can just pay your way in there.
Right.
So I don't. I don't like that shit, man. It's funny as fuck. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I would entertain an episode just to see how
Yeah.
it goes. Because I'd be like, oh, this is fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Probably have
yeah.
some funny takes on that shit. But at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
it's fucked up. But I'm a human. I get entertained by shit. Whether it's sometimes some dark shit, I can't help what entertains me. It is what it is. Shit be
Yeah, man.
funny. You know what I mean?
It's only natural, man. It's only natural. We're gonna want to look at the train wreck. That's just the way it is.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna want to see it.
Oh yeah, but now man, well, I guess with that, we'll see where that shit goes with it too. See if that
Yeah,
becomes a
we
thing.
definitely will.
We're in this. I feel like we're in this part of the just our lives where it's like, I honestly don't know what the fuck is a joke or not anymore. Some
Hey,
shit that
man.
you thought was a joke and it becomes
Right.
real. So it's like, I really do feel like we're living in an idiocracy.
Oh yeah.
For those of y'all listening to watch that movie, I feel like we are there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Dumb shit has now become norm, and it
Oh
is
yeah.
scary for our future.
Hey, when folks say we live in a simulation, I used to laugh at them. Now I'm like, shit, they might be on to something.
Yeah, shit,
Hell.
yeah, y'all know something we didn't know shit.
Yeah, man. 'Cause this don't make no sense.
Oh man, but now that's all we got for y'all today, man. Definitely appreciate y'all listening in,
Oh, for
especially
sure.
as we grow. Definitely send us ideas, anything you want to hear, anything that's confusing you that you might want broken down a little bit better in a humorous way. Gonna give you some education. We'll make it humorous for you as well too. But anything
Yeah.
y'all want to hear, that you make some good discussion on, man. That just again, we're clearly confused, man. We're here to clear that all up for you, man.
Oh yeah.
As best as we can. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
As best
Yeah,
as
you
we
might
can.
still be confused after you hear us, and that's all good. We'll try. We'll try to clear it up for you the next time around.
You
But
already
we're gonna be
know.
confused, but we're gonna be clear as well.
You already know. Well, you've been listening to the Clearly Confused podcast. We're like your group chat, but with better audio. Until next episode, stay confused clearly. We'll holler at you.
Peace.